No sporting dynasty revolutionized a sport quite like the Chicago Bulls of the 1990s. 6 championships in 8 years, led by arguably one of the greatest duos in NBA history of all time, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. In this video, I'll be giving you 10 things that you didn't know about their relationship. What is up, peeps? Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's highly appreciated. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy watching everything NBA related, consider subscribing with those bell notifications on. One thing that Pippen and Jordan shared in common is that you did not want to get on the wrong side of either of them. Their careers are filled with tales of great ones getting revenge on players who showed them up on the court, and when they teamed up together it could be carnage. Tony Kukoc had a rude introduction to life in the NBA. Drafted in 1990 from Croatia with big expectations before the Bulls won their first NBA championship, Pippen was trying to negotiate a new contract, which Jerry Krause refused to give because he didn't want to keep the salary space to sign Kukoc. Kukoc stayed on to play in Italy for 2 more years after being drafted, and Pippen eventually did get his contract. Everybody wins, right? Well, yes, but the resentment still ran deep, and the Dream Team were due to play Croatia at the 1992 Olympics. Both Pippen and Jordan seized the opportunity to put on a display to show Jerry Krause how insulting his decision had been. And these days, before the genuine superstars like Dirk Nowitzki and Paul Gasol were on the league, there was a very condescending view of European players, and Pippen and Jordan were adamant of proving this point. Even though Pippen's contract had absolutely nothing to do with poor Kukoc, Pippen and Jordan absolutely terrorized Tony the entire game on every play. Kukoc ended up with 4 points and a 103-70 loss. This one feels like a bit of an urban myth, but one thing we know certainly about Michael Jordan was he was ultra competitive in absolutely everything he did. Naturally, this competitive desire would often be unleashed in the form of gambling. A story circulated that Jordan worked out that the animated bull races on the Chicago Bulls Jumbotron were pre-recorded, when he got to the arena early and saw workers watching it. At games, Michael would then bet Scottie $100 because Jordan had already seen the recording. He knew who was going to win, so he would never lose. Scottie apparently never worked this out and kept handing Jordan $100 each time there was a race. Is this story true? Is Jordan really that brutal to his own teammate? Is Pippen really that stupid? Either way, it's pretty funny. Winning is often celebrated with a victory cigar. So confident were the mid-90s Bulls, MJ and Scottie would have a victory cigar right before the match. The iconic 72 winning Bulls team of 1996 faced the Washington Bullets in the first round. Before one of the games, Pippen and Jordan put up in MJ's Ferrari right next to the Bullets team bus, smoking cigars. There are a few bigger enigmas in the world of basketball than Dennis Rodman. Rodman played a crucial part of the dominant 1995-98 Bulls, arguably the greatest ensemble ever to play the game. Interestingly, off the court, he was really not a key ingredient to the team's success. In the whole 3 years that Rodman played for the Bulls, he did not have one conversation with Pippen or Jordan that didn't take place on the court. Both Jordan and Pippen were perhaps wary of Rodman when he arrived in 1995 due to his erratic history, which explains why they may have not been so outgoing with him. Arguably the greatest duo of all time ever seen on the court does not see a whole lot of each other these days, but when they do, it's always a moment to cherish. Just watch how Jordan's face lights up like a schoolboy when Pippen surprised him at Game 7 between the Heat and Hornets in the 2016 playoffs. In 2012, at Pippen's 47th birthday, the internet was awash with a rumor dance-out between the two Hall of Famers. The party was a secret bash planned by Scott's wife, Larsa, and the battle took place at the end of the night, reportedly to the Trey Songz tune Say Ah. The fact is that there is no video phone footage of this moment is a modern tragedy, and to this day, no one knows who won. One unfortunate trait that Pippen and Jordan both share is a notorious reputation for being cheap. Charles Barkley said there are no two cheaper people. Scottie Pippen was so cheap that he earned the nickname No Tippin' Pippen. There are stories of Pippen opening huge tabs at bars and making servers go above and beyond, and Pippen leaving no tip whatsoever. Barkley told the story to Conan O'Brien of how MJ slapped Barkley's hand away to prevent him from giving $1 to a homeless person. If they can ask you for spare change, they can say, "Welcome to McDonald's, can I help you please?" Arguments over who the greatest player of all time rage daily on the internet. In a 2011 interview for ESPN's Mike and Mike in the Morning Show, Pippen added fuel to the fire debate when he said, "I may go as far to say LeBron James may be the greatest player to ever play the game." Bulls fans particularly were shocked that Pippen could possibly hint that LeBron was a threat to Jordan's dominance. And Pippen immediately took to Twitter to say that, "Don't get me wrong, MJ was and is the greatest," before adding, "But LeBron could by all means get to his level someday," which many would argue LeBron achieved already in the 2016 finals. Michael Jordan was notoriously competitive in every possible activity. Whether it came to Game 7 of the NBA Finals, a card game, golf game, even the size of his hands, Michael always claimed he had bigger hands than Scottie, which clearly is not true. There was one other area that Pippen had Michael bested, and that was the size of his equipment down below. Bulls assistant coach Johnny Back said, "That killed Michael. You should have seen the girls Pippen had waiting for him everywhere he went." According to Bach, whenever the Bulls were in LA, Madonna would pick up Scottie in a limo complete with a hot tub. Michael clearly did not like how Pippen got to spend quality time with the most famous woman on earth, and used to tell Madonna he could satisfy her better than Pippen, to which Madonna apparently replied, "Not a chance." There is usually only room for one superstar on an NBA team, and most like to keep it that way. When Eagles clash, it can cause problems. As bitter as Oklahoma City fans are about Kevin Durant's move, the move probably worked out best for him and Russell Westbrook. Many have tried to paint a picture of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen as reluctant teammates, where jealousy and bitterness bred below the surface. The truth is they were actually very close off the court. Despite being arguably the most recognizable sports figure alive, Jordan is an intensely private person who didn't open up his home to teammates. Pippen was one of the very few who saw the inside of Jordan's home often after going there to train and work out. Jordan paints a picture of how his partnership with Pippen was able to foster based on trust and encouragement. Scottie and Michael were so in sync on the court, and their extraordinary partnership came from a much deeper and personal level than we usually see between teammates. Pippen has been dogged with abuse his whole career that he was Jordan's sidekick and only won championships because he was on MJ's team. In 2015, Pippen got in a Twitter feud with Shaq, who said that Michael did most of the work. Pippen was one of the best players in the league when he played and could easily have let his ego get the best of him and be jealous. But the respect Pippen had for Michael never wavered, which is why he selected him to introduce him before his induction into the Hall of Fame. "I can't think of a better person to do it," Pippen said of Jordan's introduction. "Michael is someone I shared my career with. He was a great teammate, teacher, and admirer." Considering the acrimonious split Shaq had with Penny Hardaway in Orlando and then Kobe in LA, he could have learned a thing or two from the way Jordan and Pippen never allowed their ego to get in the way of their success. Pippen's Hall of Fame induction was a final chance for Jordan and Pippen to share the stage one last time. That is a wrap for the video. Thank you so much if you made it this far. Be sure to consider slapping that like button. Remember, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy watching everything NBA related, be sure to subscribe with those bell notifications on. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'll see you in the next one.